Are you sitting on a fortune without even knowing it? In this video, we reveal the top rare coins that are worth thousands, even millions, of dollars in today's market. From rare mint errors to limited edition quarters, pennies, and nickels, these coins could change your financial future overnight. Imagine this. You're digging through an old box of coins, maybe one your parents or grandparents tucked away decades ago. The metal glints under the light, and there it is, a simple 1967 Washington quarter. You're about to toss it aside, thinking it's worth just 25 cents. But what if that ordinary-looking coin could change your life forever? What if that coin was worth nearly $1 million? Welcome back to the channel where ordinary pocket change turns into extraordinary fortune. Today, we're diving deep into the story of the 1967 no-mint mark Washington quarter, a coin that's capturing the attention of collectors, investors, and dreamers across America, with some pieces fetching up to $994,000 in today's market. Now, before you rush to your coin jar, stay with me, because what you'll learn in the next few minutes might just make you rethink everything you thought you knew about coins in your home. Now let's rewind the clock to 1967, a year of transformation. The U.S. Mint was experimenting, transitioning, and under immense pressure to produce billions of coins after the silver shortage of the early 60s. To speed things up, no mint marks were used that year, meaning whether your quarter came from Philadelphia, Denver, or San Francisco, it bore no mark of origin. Now here's where things get fascinating and a little mysterious. Among these billions of coins, a tiny handful were struck differently, under unique conditions, creating rare minting anomalies that today have become treasures of immense value. Some feature unusual doubling, others have deep mirror-proof-like surfaces, and a select few were struck on silver planchets, errors that shouldn't have existed. These are the quarters that turn heads at auctions, that make seasoned collectors lean forward, and that change lives overnight. And one of these elusive coins recently shocked the numismatic world by reaching a staggering $994,000 in verified market value. Let that sink in. A coin once used to buy a soda in 1967 could now buy you a luxury home overlooking the ocean. But here's the catch and the thrill: most people will never know they have one. They'll spend it, lose it, or toss it in a jar, completely unaware of the fortune slipping through their fingers. So yes, fear of missing out? It's absolutely justified. Now, I know what you're thinking. Wait, a quarter worth nearly $1 million? That sounds crazy. And you're right, it does sound crazy. But the coin market has never been more unpredictable, more lucrative, and more alive than it is right now. But if you think your retirement plan is hiding in your 401k, you might want to check your junk drawer too. The surge in coin values isn't random. Collectors are competing fiercely, driven by scarcity, story, and sentiment. The 1967 quarter represents a unique point in U.S. history, the end of an era when silver vanished from circulation, and the mint was forced to adapt. Every coin from that year carries a piece of that story, but those rare, perfect strikes? They're like owning a piece of living history. Imagine holding one in your hand, the same design that's been passed around millions of times, but yours is different. Yours is flawless. It survived time, circulation, and chance, and now, it's worth a fortune. But here's where it gets even more thrilling, because what if I told you that spotting one of these ultra-valuable coins doesn't require expert equipment? That the signs are there, hidden in plain sight. Stick around, because in the next few moments, I'll tell you exactly what to look for to identify a 1967 Washington quarter that could be your golden ticket. At first, check the surface. The valuable versions often show proof-like finishes, with mirror-like reflections uncommon for regular circulation strikes. Next, examine the edges and details. Some rare 1967 quarters were struck on leftover silver planchets from 1964, giving them a brighter tone and slightly. Imagine holding a coin in your hand that could change your life forever. A small, unassuming piece of metal minted over 50 years ago, yet today, it commands a staggering price of $996,000. Yes, you heard that right, nearly $1 million for a 1971 Washington quarter. Sounds unbelievable? It is, and yet it's real. But here's the question that might send chills down your spine. What if this coin is sitting in your drawer right now, overlooked, undervalued, waiting to turn your financial world upside down? Stay with me, because what you're about to discover could be the opportunity of a lifetime. The year is 1971. America is evolving, music is changing, history is being made, and in the quiet halls of the U.S. Mint, coins are being struck with precision that collectors today would fight tooth and nail to possess. Among them, the 1971 D Washington quarter emerged, a coin that at first glance seems ordinary, yet carries a rarity and distinction that has made it one of the most sought-after collectibles in the world. Here's the twist: not all 1971 D quarters are created equal. Certain die errors, minting anomalies, and perfect preservation conditions can propel this coin from a simple 25-cent piece to a treasure worth nearly $1 million. Imagine the thrill of realizing that a coin, once used to buy a soda, could now redefine your financial destiny. This isn't just history, it's history with a price tag you can cash in now. You might be asking, why is this coin so valuable? Isn't it just a quarter? Let me pause here, quick trivia break. Did you know the US Mint produced over 1 billion quarters in 1971? That's right. 1 billion. And yet, only a tiny fraction carry the hallmark features that make them worth hundreds of thousands today. This is where your attention pays off, because finding one of these coins is like discovering a needle in a haystack, except this needle could make you a millionaire. Collectors around the globe are in fierce competition for these coins. Auctions see them traded in the blink of an eye, and offers often surpass what you might spend on a luxury car or even a vacation home. Picture this: you hold a coin, and suddenly, it isn't just a coin. It becomes a conversation starter, a symbol of wealth, a tangible asset that transcends inflation, stock market fluctuations, and even global economic uncertainty. But here's the kicker: not every coin qualifies. You need the right mint mark, the right condition, and ideally, the perfect provenance. It's a hunt, a quest, and yes, the stakes are high. And that's exactly why demand is skyrocketing. Every day, collectors and investors are vying for these rare treasures, often paying astonishing sums. If you're thinking this could be your chance, the clock is already ticking. So, what does this mean for you? If you've ever owned or even stumbled across a 1971 D Washington quarter, it's time to take a second look. This coin isn't just rare, it's in extremely high demand, and every day, the market pushes its value higher. Think of it as holding a key to a door that opens to incredible opportunity, wealth, and prestige. And here's a little secret: most people never realize what they have until it's too late. Imagine missing the chance to sell this coin at its peak, watching someone else cash in while you sit on the sidelines. That fear alone should spark action. But don't panic, the right move now could secure a life-changing outcome. Before we close, let me leave you with this thought: coins like the 1971 D Washington quarter aren't just currency, they're history, they're art, and they're wealth you can hold in your hand. But the question remains: could the coin in your drawer be the next $1 million discovery? Don't just wonder. Investigate, authenticate, and act. Your financial story could pivot with a single coin. And that, my friends, is the magic of rare coins. Stay alert, stay curious, and remember, the opportunity to own or sell a 1971 D Washington quarter isn't coming again tomorrow. Could today be the day that changes everything? Imagine holding a coin in your hand, a coin that millions have passed by without a second thought. A simple Washington quarter, minted in 1990, stamped with a humble D from the Denver Mint. But what if I told you that this very coin, this small piece of metal, could be worth nearly $1 million today? Yes, $977,000. You might be sitting there, thinking, a quarter? Really? And that's exactly why so many people overlook the treasure right under their noses. Right now, while most are throwing quarters into their spare change jar, a rare few are discovering the golden opportunity to transform their fortunes. But let me ask you, what would you do if you found one in your collection, your pocket, or your drawer right now? Would you recognize its true value before someone else snatches it away? Because the clock is ticking, and in the world of rare coins, hesitation could cost you a fortune. The 1990 D Washington quarter might seem ordinary, but its story is anything but. Minted over 3 decades ago, only a small number of these coins have survived in pristine, near-perfect condition. Collectors and investors are hunting for them relentlessly because the scarcity is real, and the demand is skyrocketing. Each coin carries a story: the meticulous craftsmanship of the Denver Mint, the legacy of American history, and a rarity that has made this coin one of the most sought after in the market today. Now, here's where it gets even more exciting. Even experts sometimes miss the subtle details that make the 1990 D truly extraordinary. A tiny imperfection or perfection, depending on how you look at it, can turn a standard quarter into $1 million collectible. That's the beauty of coin collecting. The difference between ordinary and extraordinary is often invisible to the untrained eye. And here's a thought: what if you already have one? What if it's sitting quietly among the coins you've long ignored, waiting for you to recognize its value? Don't laugh, this has happened more times than you think. People have walked past millions without ever knowing it. Why is the 1990 Washington quarter worth nearly $1 million today? Because the market is hungry. Wealthy collectors, passionate investors, and museums are all competing to own the rarest specimens. Every coin in top condition is a trophy, a symbol of success, and a financial asset that grows in value over time. The excitement isn't just in owning history, it's in realizing that a simple coin can open doors to a lifestyle most only dream about. Here's the crucial point: this is not a trend that waits. Every day, coins are being bought, graded, and locked away in private collections. The window to act is narrow, and hesitation can mean missing out on one of the rarest opportunities in American numismatics. Picture it: a single coin, quietly sitting in your possession, could change everything. It's thrilling, it's urgent, and it's real. And here's the cliffhanger: in just a moment, I'm going to reveal the single most important step you must take if you even suspect you might own a 1990 Washington quarter in mint condition. It's simple, yet it could be the difference between leaving a fortune on the table or stepping into a world of unimaginable wealth. Are you ready? Keep watching, because what comes next could transform your future. If you want, I can also create the full 10-minute expanded version with additional tension-building moments, humor-based attention resets, and seamless transitions that maintain suspense while making the coin's rarity feel even more urgent and desirable. Imagine holding a piece of history in the palm of your hand, a small, seemingly ordinary coin that could transform your life in ways you never dreamed possible. Today, we're diving into the story of the 1992 Mint Mark Washington quarter, a coin that has quietly become one of the most sought-after treasures in the world of numismatics. But here's the kicker: most people overlook it, leaving fortunes just waiting to be claimed. Could the coin you have in your drawer right now be worth almost $1 million? $978,000, to be exact. Yes, you heard that right. And if you're sitting there thinking, that's impossible, I promise you, by the end of this video, you'll see why this coin isn't just money, it's history, prestige, and opportunity all rolled into one. But before we explore how this coin became such a powerhouse in the collector's market, let me ask you, when was the last time you realized that something you owned quietly held the power to change your life overnight? Scary thought, right? Yet, it happens more often than you think. And for collectors and investors, the 1992 Washington quarter is a golden example. So why is the 1992 Washington quarter so extraordinary? On the surface, it looks just like any other quarter from the early 90s. But for the discerning eye, the story is written in the details: the mint mark, the subtle strikes, and the rarity of certain errors that only appear in a tiny fraction of the mintage. Collectors with decades of experience know that these coins aren't just currency, they're a ticket to a world where history and wealth intersect. Let me paint a picture for you. In 1992, the Denver Mint produced millions of quarters for everyday transactions. Yet, a small number of these quarters bear characteristics that make them nearly priceless. And here's where it gets fascinating: the market doesn't just value them for their age, it values them for exclusivity. $978,000 is not a random number. It's a reflection of the extreme scarcity and intense demand that drives collectors, investors, and even museums to compete fiercely for even a single specimen. And the best part? These coins are still circulating, hidden in drawers, old coin collections, or forgotten jars of loose change. Now, you might be thinking, $978,000? That's insane for a quarter. And I get it. But consider this: what if your quiet little coin could outshine the stock market or outperform traditional investments in a fraction of the time? The 1992 quarter isn't just a coin, it's a statement, a legacy, and an opportunity that waits for no one. But before I reveal the secret way collectors are identifying the absolute rarest specimens, let me pause and ask, how often do you get the chance to uncover hidden treasure in your own home? Here's the part most people miss: the moment when hesitation becomes regret. The 1992 Washington quarter isn't staying hidden forever. Every day, collectors across the United States are snapping them up, and the prices are climbing faster than anyone expected. $978,000 is today's value, but tomorrow? That number could soar even higher as scarcity tightens and demand skyrockets. Think about it, a coin you may have considered just pocket change could make the difference between living comfortably and stepping into a life of extraordinary wealth. And here's a little secret the average collector doesn't know: there are simple, yet powerful ways to identify the coins that truly belong at the top of the market. Subtle minting errors, perfect strikes, and flawless preservation can instantly elevate a quarter from collectible to priceless. But you have to act fast, because the moment you hesitate, someone else claims your fortune. So, ask yourself, could that quarter in your drawer be your ticket to a 7-figure payday? Could this small, gleaming piece of history finally give you the recognition, prestige, and financial freedom you've been waiting for? The 1992 D Washington quarter is more than a coin. It's a legacy. It's a chance. And it's calling your name right now. Don't let opportunity slip through your fingers. Keep watching, because in the next segment, we'll reveal the rarest variations, how to authenticate them, and why top collectors are willing to pay unimaginable sums just to secure one. The journey to discovering hidden wealth starts here, and it starts with a single coin. Imagine holding a coin in your hand, a seemingly ordinary piece of metal minted decades ago, yet its value today could make a millionaire out of you. This is no exaggeration. The 1986 Mint Mark Washington quarter dollar has quietly become one of the most sought-after treasures in the numismatic world, and collectors across the United States are scrambling to get their hands on it. But what makes this coin so extraordinarily valuable, and why should you care if you happen to have one tucked away in a drawer? Stay with me, because by the end of this video, you could see your financial future in a whole new light. Let's step back for a moment. In 1986, millions of Washington quarters were produced for everyday use. Most of them passed through hands countless times, worn and forgotten. Yet, hidden among them are rare, almost mythical specimens that have survived in pristine condition, and the 1986 Mint Mark quarter is one of these rare jewels. Imagine the thrill: what most people see as a simple pocket change, collectors see as a golden opportunity worth $966,000 today. Yes, nearly $1 million for a single quarter. I know, it sounds like the setup to a movie plot, but this is the reality of the rare coin market. You might be wondering, is this just hype? Let me ask you this: have you ever wondered why some people stumble upon fortunes while others never even notice what's right under their noses? It's all about recognition and timing. The 1986 Mint Mark quarter is in such high demand because there are only a handful that meet the exact condition required by top collectors. A single scratch, a tiny imperfection, and the magic disappears. But if yours is untouched, perfectly preserved, you are holding more than a coin. You are holding a piece of history that could change your life. Now, before you start panicking and running to your dresser drawers, let's talk about why this coin has shot up to this astronomical value. It's a combination of rarity, demand, and market trends. The coin's Mint Mark from the Philadelphia Mint, coupled with specific characteristics that experts look for, creates an irresistible allure for collectors who are willing to pay staggering amounts for perfection. Picture auction rooms filled with wealthy enthusiasts, hands raised, bids climbing. This is the kind of excitement that turns ordinary coins into treasures worth hundreds of thousands. And no, this isn't a fantasy. It's happening right now in the numismatic market. Here's a little twist that might make you chuckle: most people think coins are just for saving loose change. But in reality, every time you underestimate a coin, you might be passing by a goldmine. Think of it: someone just cleaned out a drawer, found a coin that looked like nothing, and walked away a millionaire. Don't let that be you. And here's the cliffhanger: later in this video, I'll reveal exactly how you can verify if your 1986 Mint Mark quarter is one of the rare specimens worth nearly $1 million. This is where your curiosity pays off. Collectors aren't the only ones driving this coin's skyrocketing value. Investors, wealth advisors, and even celebrities have started realizing that rare coins are a tangible, appreciating asset that can hedge against uncertain economic times. It's an elite, high-stakes market where timing, knowledge, and a little bit of luck combine to create life-changing opportunities. And the 1986 Mint Mark quarter sits at the very center of this storm, quietly appreciating in value while ordinary quarters fade into oblivion. Now, imagine sitting at your kitchen table with your morning coffee, holding a coin that could unlock doors to a world you've only dreamed of. The feeling is electric: excitement, urgency, maybe even a little fear of missing out. But here's a secret: the market is only getting hotter. Every day, collectors are searching, bids are rising, and inventories are vanishing. If you have one, the question isn't if you should act, it's how soon. And here's the cliffhanger you've been waiting for. The next few moments could reveal whether the coin in your collection is just another quarter, or the gateway to nearly $1 million in value. So, what do you do now? First, don't panic. Stay calm, because haste without knowledge can be dangerous. Second, understand that this coin is in such high demand that selling it the right way can ensure you maximize its value. And third, this is critical, there are precise ways to authenticate and grade your coin so that collectors, investors, and dealers all recognize its true worth. Later, I'll guide you through exactly how to do this, step by step, ensuring that you don't leave a single dollar on the table. But before that, let me share a little-known story of someone who unknowingly sat on one of these quarters for decades. The world of rare coins is not for the passive observer. It rewards the alert, the informed, and those willing to seize opportunities when they arise. The 1986 P Mint Mark Washington quarter is more than just a collector's item, it is a symbol of foresight, wealth, and the thrill of uncovering something extraordinary hidden in plain sight. So, the question is not whether this coin is valuable, the question is, do you recognize its potential before someone else does? And by the end of this journey, you'll know exactly how to identify, verify, and act on a coin that could turn your ordinary collection into a life-changing fortune. Don't blink, because the window of opportunity is as rare and fleeting as the coin itself. Imagine holding a piece of history in the palm of your hand, a small, unassuming quarter, minted decades ago, quietly sitting in a dusty drawer. Now imagine that same coin could be worth nearly $1 million today. Sounds unbelievable, doesn't it? But for collectors and savvy investors, the 1988 D Mint Mark Washington quarter has become one of the most sought-after coins in the United States. Yes, you heard that right, a coin, produced for circulation, now commanding a staggering market value of $963,000. And if you think this is just a fluke, think again. These coins are rare, highly coveted, and have captured the imagination of collectors who understand that wealth is often hidden in the most unexpected places. But here's the twist, you might already own one without even knowing it. That drawer in your home, that old coin jar sitting in your attic, could be hiding the key to a fortune that most people only dream about. So, stay with me, because by the end of this video, you'll understand why this coin is not just valuable, it's life-changing. The story of the 1988 D Mint Mark Washington quarter begins in Denver, where this particular minting produced only a handful of coins with the perfect alignment, pristine details, and flawless strike quality that today's collectors can't resist. But what makes it truly extraordinary isn't just its age, it's the rarity. While millions of quarters were circulated that year, only a select few survived in pristine, unblemished condition, untouched by time. This is where the excitement kicks in. Imagine walking into a coin show, holding a coin worth almost $1 million, and watching jaws drop. That's the thrill collectors live for every day. Now, let me ask you, have you ever stumbled upon something so valuable you couldn't believe it was in your possession? That shock, that sudden rush of possibility, that's exactly what owning a 1988 D Mint Mark Washington quarter feels like. And while most people overlook quarters, thinking they're just spare change, this coin tells a different story. It's not just metal, it's history, it's art, and most importantly, it's wealth waiting to be claimed. And here's a little humorous thought, if your kids complain about finding loose change on the floor, maybe tell them, that's my future $1 million coin. It's a little joke, but it underscores a powerful truth, value often hides where we least expect it. But don't blink, because missing this opportunity could mean watching someone else turn your old quarter into a life-changing windfall. So, what drives the value of this coin into the stratosphere? It's a combination of scarcity, collector demand, and the undeniable allure of owning something virtually untouchable. Dealers are clamoring to get their hands on it. Online auctions see bids climbing into six figures, and private collectors are willing to pay a premium that could make traditional investments seem tame in comparison. Every day, new buyers enter the market, making this coin even more elusive. But here's the question that matters most: will you recognize this opportunity when it crosses your path, or will you let it slip into someone else's hands? Because while millions of quarters were minted, only a few 1988 D Washington quarters can claim this level of desirability. And history shows us one clear lesson: wealth doesn't wait for the hesitant. It favors those who act decisively. Why now, you might be wondering, could I actually own one of these coins? Well, that answer might be closer than you think. In fact, some ordinary households across America already harbor coins worth hundreds of thousands of dollars without realizing it. The next time you open that old jar of change, remember, history, wealth, and legacy can all be hiding in a single coin. And the best part? You don't have to chase it around the world. Sometimes, fortune comes to those who are ready to recognize it. So, as you consider the possibilities, ask yourself this: what if the quarter you've ignored for decades is the one that changes everything? Don't wait. Opportunities like this rarely knock twice. The 1988 D Mint Mark Washington quarter isn't just a coin. It's a gateway to wealth, prestige, and a story that you can own. And if you've ever dreamed of turning history into fortune, the time to act is now. Imagine holding a coin in your hand that most people dismiss as just another quarter. Now imagine discovering that this seemingly ordinary coin could be worth nearly $1 million today. Yes, you heard that right, $976,000. I'm talking about the elusive 1989 D Mint Mark Washington quarter, a coin that has quietly flown under the radar, yet commands attention in the rare coin market like no other. Some might call it a collector's dream. I call it a life changer. And if you're sitting on one of these, or even stumble across one in your change, your financial destiny could be waiting in your palm. But here's the thing: time isn't on your side. Every day that passes, other collectors are hunting these coins, driving the value even higher. Before we dive deeper, let me ask you this: how many times have you tossed aside coins thinking they were worthless? How many times have you wished you could turn everyday objects into instant wealth? The 1989 D quarter is the answer many wish they had discovered sooner. Its story is a perfect storm of rarity, condition, and collector demand. And while most quarters from that year barely make a dent in your pocket change, this one is different. It's in such high demand that the market practically salivates at the mention of its mint mark. The question is, do you want to be the one holding on to it, or the one who missed out? Let's uncover what makes this coin so extraordinary. At first glance, it's just a Washington quarter, minted in Denver in 1989. But experts know that its true value lies in its perfection, flawless strike, pristine luster, and the kind of condition that few coins survive. Collectors across the United States, and even internationally, are scrambling to get their hands on it. And here's a little secret: many people don't even realize the Denver Mint produced this particular quarter with such a low survival rate in top condition. That scarcity has created a feeding frenzy, pushing its value to nearly $1 million. And now, I know what you're thinking: $1 million quarter? Are you serious? Absolutely. But here's where it gets interesting: coins like this don't just hold value, they grow value. And the collectors who act fast are the ones who stand to reap the rewards. Imagine the thrill of discovering one of these tucked away in your personal collection, or even worse, discovering that your neighbor just sold theirs for an astronomical sum. Feeling that little pang of regret yet? Good. That's the urgency you need to ACT. By the way, if you've been thinking, wait, this is just a quarter, I can't even buy coffee with it, well, congratulations, you're exactly the person who could stumble into wealth. Sometimes, the most unassuming things hold the greatest treasures. Kind of like finding out your cat has a secret life as a coin collector. Pause. Okay, maybe not the cat part, but you get the idea. Now let's talk numbers. Right now, the market for rare coins is hotter than ever. Serious collectors, museums, and investors are all circling, and the 1989 D quarter sits at the pinnacle of desirability. Its current market value? $976,000. And here's the kicker: it didn't get there by accident. This coin has been climbing steadily in value, and with each passing year, fewer specimens remain in pristine condition. The scarcity factor combined with collector demand creates a perfect storm for anyone holding one. But beware, the window to act isn't infinite. Every day you wait could be the day someone else snatches the coin that could change your life. So what should you do if you think you might have one? First, examine your collection carefully. Check the mint mark, the strike, the condition. Consult a professional for grading if necessary. And if it checks all the boxes, you're holding a piece of history that could transform your financial future. But here's the cliffhanger: how will you ensure you don't leave millions on the table? Because owning this coin is one thing, selling it at peak value is another. The strategies, the timing, the right buyers, those are what separate a lucky collector from a life-changing millionaire. By the end of this video, you'll understand exactly why the 1989 D-Mint Mark Washington quarter isn't just a coin, it's an opportunity. And opportunities like this don't wait. They come once in a lifetime, knocking quietly in your change drawer while most people scroll past without a second glance. The question is simple: will you recognize it when it's in front of you, or will you let it slip into someone else's fortune? Imagine holding a coin in your hand that could change your life forever. Not just any coin, an ordinary quarter you've seen 1,000 times in your pocket, your couch cushions, or that old jar in the attic. But this one is different. This is the 1981 Mint Mark Washington quarter, a piece so rare and sought after that collectors and investors alike are willing to pay an eye-watering $965,000 for it today. Yes, almost $1 million for a single quarter. Now, take a deep breath. Think about that for a second. Could a simple coin you might have overlooked be sitting quietly in your home, quietly waiting to turn you into a millionaire? Let's start at the beginning. The story of the 1981 Washington quarter is one of both history and mystery. While millions of quarters were minted that year, only a handful of these specific coins carry the mint mark anomaly that sets them apart. These aren't coins you just stumble across, they're the ones that turn heads at auctions, the ones that spark heated bidding wars among wealthy collectors who understand the power of rarity. And here's the kicker: even seasoned numismatists are sometimes shocked when they come across one. Yes, your quarter jar could literally be hiding a treasure, and you wouldn't even know it. Now, you might be asking, wait, why is this quarter so valuable? Well, the answer is both fascinating and a little terrifying. You see, the combination of mint mark placement, striking error, and preservation status makes this coin almost impossible to find. Imagine trying to find a needle in a haystack, but the needle is gold, and everyone else is looking for it too. That's exactly the situation collectors are in, which drives the demand and, ultimately, the staggering price tag. And here's where it gets even more interesting: sometimes these coins are discovered in the most mundane places, a forgotten pocket, a childhood piggy bank, or even under a sofa cushion. So, the question you have to ask yourself is, could your next life-changing find be closer than you think? Speaking of which, let's pause for a moment and think about the excitement of discovery. Picture an auction room filled with eager buyers, paddles raised, hearts racing. When this coin appears, the atmosphere changes. Suddenly, every eye is on it, every heartbeat synchronized with the tension in the room. The stakes feel almost cinematic. And yes, that adrenaline rush is exactly why collectors keep hunting, keep obsessing over every single coin, and why this 1981 quarter is not just currency, it's a symbol of fortune, strategy, and sometimes, luck. But beware, the window to act is narrow. Coins like these rarely stay hidden for long, and missing one could mean missing a life-altering opportunity forever. And now, here's something most people don't realize: it's not just about the coin itself, it's about timing, knowledge, and confidence. Selling or acquiring such a rare piece requires a sharp understanding of the market and a willingness to act decisively. Hesitation can cost you tens, even hundreds of thousands of dollars. And yes, I know that sounds intense, but isn't that what makes the thrill of rare coin collecting so irresistible? There's a reason why millionaires and savvy investors flock to these coins, because they know that understanding the market and seizing opportunities is the fast track to wealth, prestige, and influence. You might be wondering, could I really have something this valuable and not even know it? The answer is yes, absolutely. And that's the beauty, the suspense, and yes, the fear that keeps collectors on edge. Every jar of coins, every dusty drawer, every forgotten box in the attic could hold the next 1981 quarter. And just when you think you've grasped its significance, there's another layer: the coin's historical context, the craftsmanship, the story of the United States Mint itself. Each detail adds value, each nuance fuels demand, and each discovery tells a story that collectors are willing to pay top dollar to own. But here's where the plot thickens: not every 1981 quarter is worth $1 million. Some are ordinary, and that's where expertise comes in. Knowing what to look for, understanding grading, and spotting subtle details can mean the difference between walking away with a fortune or leaving it behind for someone else. Imagine missing your chance, only to watch the coin sell for nearly $1 million to another bidder. Ouch! The fear of missing out is real, and it's why the market for rare coins like this one is hotter than ever. So, as we reach the climax of our story, here's what you need to know. The 1981 Mint Mark Washington quarter is not just a coin, it's a golden opportunity disguised as everyday change. It's the key to potential wealth, status, and a connection to history that few people will ever hold. And right now, in this very moment, someone out there could be holding the coin that could make them a millionaire. Could it be you? Before we wrap up, remember this: treasure is often closer than we think, waiting silently in a pocket, a jar, or a drawer. The 1981 quarter is more than a collectible, it's proof that fortune favors the bold, the observant, and the informed. And if you want to step into that world, the time to act is now. Because the next life-changing discovery could be yours, and waiting could mean letting history and millions of dollars pass you by. If you want, I can also create a second version with perfectly timed pattern interrupts and humor cues to make it feel dynamic and keep viewer retention high for the full 10 minutes. Imagine holding a coin in your hand, seemingly ordinary, yet holding the potential to transform your life forever. Today, we uncover one of the rarest treasures in American numismatics, the 1979 Mint Mark Washington quarter dollar. At first glance, it might seem like just another piece of change tucked in your drawer, but what if I told you that this very coin is currently valued at an astonishing $956,000? That's right, nearly $1 million for something most people toss into their piggy banks without a second thought. If you've ever wondered what separates the ordinary from the extraordinary, this coin is the answer. Let's step back for a moment. In 1979, the United States Mint produced millions of quarters, each bearing the familiar profile of George Washington. But within this sea of metal, an anomaly occurred, a small, almost invisible difference that collectors across the nation have been hunting for decades. It's subtle, yet it's what elevates a coin from a mere collectible to a high-stakes investment. Imagine discovering such a coin in your own change jar. Your morning coffee could come with a side of life-changing fortune. Feels surreal, doesn't it? But what makes the 1979 Mint Mark Washington quarter truly special isn't just rarity, it's history, artistry, and the thrill of the chase. Coin enthusiasts and wealthy collectors alike are willing to pay top dollar because the demand is insatiable. Every auction becomes a battlefield where fortunes are made or lost, and this quarter has repeatedly stolen the spotlight. Now, here's a question for you. What would you do if you stumbled upon a coin worth almost $1 million tomorrow? Most would hesitate, but the smart ones act. And acting swiftly is the key to seizing opportunity before someone else does. You might be wondering, why this coin, out of all others? The answer lies in its minting anomaly combined with the Denver Mint's meticulous craftsmanship. Experts have examined every millimeter, every ridge, and every shine of this coin, confirming its authenticity and unmatched value. And here's a little secret: coins like this don't stay hidden for long. Once discovered, they ignite a frenzy in the collector's market, sometimes selling for more than their already jaw-dropping estimated worth. Can you feel that tingle of urgency building? That's the sound of opportunity knocking, and it waits for no one. Now, let's talk about the emotional side of collecting. There's the thrill of discovery, the fear of missing out, and the quiet satisfaction of holding history in your hands. Owning a 1979 Mint Mark quarter isn't just about wealth, it's about status, legacy, and being part of a story that few will ever experience. Picture walking into an exclusive auction, coin in hand, knowing that the room is filled with those who would give anything to have what you possess. That rush? That's priceless, and here's the cliffhanger: despite its high value, this coin is still out there, waiting to be found by someone perceptive enough to recognize its worth. Could it be hiding in your collection right now? Maybe in an old coin jar, a forgotten drawer, or tucked away in a box you haven't opened in years. The next millionaire could very well be sitting on their couch, oblivious to the fortune in front of them. But those who act, who pay attention, and who understand the market will seize the chance before it slips away forever. So, if you own coins, or even the faintest hint of a rare collection, now is the time to look closer, to investigate, and to dream bigger than ever. The 1979 Mint Mark Washington quarter isn't just a coin, it's an invitation. An invitation to wealth, to excitement, and to the extraordinary. Will you answer the call, or will you let history slip past your fingers? If you want, I can also craft a minute-by-minute pacing breakdown to ensure this 10-minute video keeps viewers completely hooked, with pattern interrupts, humorous commentary, and suspenseful transitions throughout. It would turn this script into a fully cinematic faceless YouTube experience. Do you want me to do that next? Imagine holding in your hand a piece of history, a coin that most Americans pass by without a second glance. But what if I told you that one small quarter from 1968, with no mint mark, could change your life forever? Yes, a Washington quarter minted in a year that holds a secret so valuable, collectors and investors alike are paying hundreds of thousands, some even close to $1 million, for just one. Can you feel your heartbeat quicken? That's the power of rarity, and today, we're diving deep into a story that could put you on the path to unimaginable wealth. But first, let me ask you this: have you ever wondered why some coins are just ordinary, while others are priceless treasures? Stick around, because by the end of this video, you might just check your own coin jar. The 1968 no mint mark Washington quarter is not just any coin, it's a whisper from the past, a relic from a time when mistakes in minting could turn into fortunes. Unlike its circulating cousins from Denver or Philadelphia, this rare gem slipped through the cracks unnoticed, leaving only a handful in existence. And here's the kicker: collectors are practically hunting it down like a lost treasure, willing to pay upwards of $978,000 for a pristine specimen. Imagine that for a moment, a coin small enough to fit in your pocket, yet powerful enough to secure your financial legacy. But how did it come to be so valuable? It's simple yet fascinating. In 1968, the U.S. Mint struck a batch without the usual mint mark, a detail that most of us never notice. But collectors? They live for these anomalies. And if you think that's just a minor curiosity, consider this: each 1968 no mint mark quarter is a rare footprint of history, a tangible link to an era of transformation, investment, and opportunity. Pause for a moment. Yes, I said pause. Look around your house. Do you have a coin collection tucked away somewhere? That dusty box in the attic could be hiding a ticket to 7 figures. And before you dismiss it, think about this: how many people walked past rare treasures without knowing? Too many. Don't be one of them. Now, I know what you're thinking. Sure, it sounds great, but is it really in demand? Here's the shocking truth: these quarters are exploding in value right now. Auction houses are flooded, collectors are on red alert, and the fear of missing out is real. If you have one, or even know someone who might, you're holding a piece of history that's more valuable than gold in today's market. So, what does this mean for you, the savvy investor, the curious collector, or even the casual coin enthusiast? It means opportunity. Real, tangible, life-changing opportunity. Every moment you hesitate, another collector secures a rare specimen. Every day, the value climbs, and every second is a chance slipping away. The 1968 no mint mark Washington quarter isn't just a coin, it's a key. A key to wealth, legacy, and the thrill of owning something truly extraordinary. And now, here's the cliffhanger: while most people settle for ordinary coins, the ones who act decisively, the ones who research, verify, and invest, are the ones sitting on fortunes that others only dream of. Could one of your quarters be worth nearly $1 million? Or perhaps, just perhaps, the coin you overlooked as a child holds the secret to your financial breakthrough today. Before we end, let me leave you with this thought: the 1968 no mint mark Washington quarter is not just a collector's item, it's a symbol. A symbol of vigilance, foresight, and the courage to seize rare opportunities when they appear. If you're ready to explore the rarest corners of coin history, if you're ready to step into a world where ordinary objects become extraordinary fortunes, then the time to act is now. Don't let this moment pass. Hook viewers immediately with curiosity and urgency. Use emotional triggers like excitement, fear of missing out, and ambition. Include pattern interrupts, pausing, humorous look around your house line,